Hello, my name is Sher Leetooze. I live at Bowmanville, Ontario, and I've been doing family research for just over 40 years. I've been writing about it for about 20 years. I think the biggest tip is make sure you've done your research before you get to Scotland. Scottish names are not, there's not a lot of them. There really isn't. A Campbell is not just a Campbell. A Campbell can be a Campbell. So make sure you know which one you are before you go into it. A lot of imagination was not put into given names. There are 100 million Richards and Williams, all named after kings. That's about the best you could get, was to name your kid after a king. And so there's thousands of them. Make sure you've got the right one, because in Scotland you can go off on a tangent anywhere, and it could very well be the wrong family. Just make sure you've checked all the records you can. The best place to do that is Scotland's People. Scotland's People is the National Archives. It's not just a company set up to sell you a product. For every dollar you spend, it means they can transcribe more and more records and put them online. So your money is going to a good cause. It helps everybody. And if you are serious about your research, you will use Scotland's People to help you through it. In Scotland, the Anglicans were nonconformists. They are not the National Church of Scotland. So if you are from a long line of Anglicans, get used to being a nonconformist. The rest were all Presbyterians. If you were anybody in Scotland, you were a Presbyterian. In recent times, if you can get yourself back 800 years, and some of the Scottish records go back 800 years, then you were probably Catholic. But that's Scotland for you. Totally different from England. When you go around any corner in Scotland, you're going to meet Presbyterians, and there was never only one Presbyterian parish church. There were at least 2 parish churches, maybe 3. So find out what records you really want to look at. If you go on to familysearch.org with the parish church registers, you can find out which is which. Hopefully, I hope they've got them all labeled as to which was the parish church and which was the secondary parish church. In Scotland, there was what they called the disruption in 1843, and every congregation for Presbyterians split, and then split again, and sometimes split again. About 1900, they all started coming back together because they realized they couldn't survive out there financially apart. But now it's one congregation, then it was 3 or 4. So make sure you've got the right parish records, or you're going to go away brokenhearted when you shouldn't. Edinburgh now is like Toronto. All of the small communities that used to be there, and probably parishes in their own right, are all now part of Edinburgh. Of the Edinburgh, what would you call it? Edinburgh at large type thing. Metropolitan Edinburgh. And where the parishes used to be, probably they are not within the same name anymore. In fact, the whole county of Midlothian is now Edinburgh. So and there's been in recent years a whole new change in who looks after what, the political scene, and it's not just county councils anymore like there used to be. It's whole new districts. And so you go online and find the new Scottish districts and compare them with an old map of Scottish counties. Find your new district, find your new parishes, everything has changed. So if I know you have to use the old ideas to find your records because that's how they're stored, but find out where to go to get them now because that's all changed. The Scottish Family Genealogy Society in Edinburgh is very good. They have a tiny little place and it is so chock full of information, it'll knock your socks off. If you can get a hold of them, they're in Victoria Place, I think it's called. It's an upper level road that Edinburgh is wonderful. There's 3 levels to Edinburgh. The main level, and then when you go around the corner, you can go down and walk underneath, and then you can go down again and walk underneath. So they are on a mid-level. From up top on the bridges near Edinburgh Castle, you look down and you can see all these layers of city because it's built on the side of many hills. But the Scottish Genealogy Society in Edinburgh on Victoria, whatever it is, you'll find them. They're online. Get there, go in their little office, keep your elbows tucked in because the aisleways are so narrow, but it's a wonderful place to go. And the people there are very knowledgeable. Anything you want, they know exactly where to put their fingers on it, and they can sometimes tell you about it right off the top of their head. But it's a great place to go, and it's a wonderful resource to have. And if you can't get there, I feel sorry for you, but if you can't get there, email them, talk to them over email. They're very good people. They'll do everything they can to help you. I would like to say, please go to Scotland. Walk the pathways that your ancestor walked. See the places they saw, and just enjoy being Scottish.